All right, girly girls. So today we're going to learn about something called Passover. Can you say Passover?
Passover.
That's right. And Passover is today. So it's a special day that God told his people to celebrate every year so that they can remember. And so we're going to have a special picnic for Passover. So who is God's people? Jerusalem? Yeah. Are you God's people? Yeah. They used to live in a place called Egypt, and it was really hot and it was super dusty. And they had people that were in charge of them, and they were big, mean bosses, and they made them do really hard work, even in the really hot sun. And they didn't give them a lot of snacks or drinks, and it was not nice. And so God's people, they felt sad, and they didn't want to do all that hard work. And so they prayed and they said, God, will you help us get out of here and get away from these mean bosses? And God said, sure, let me help you. So God picked a leader from his people, and the leader's name was Moses. Can you say Moses?
Moses.
Have you heard of Moses before?
Yeah.
What does Moses say?
Moses says, let my people go.
Now say it really strong. Say it really serious. Say, hey, let my people go.
Hey, let my people go.
That's right. So Moses, he was in charge of bringing his people out of that hot and dusty place called Egypt. And so he went to the king and he said, King, his name was Pharaoh. That's what they called the king. So he said, Pharaoh, let my people go. And guess what that Pharaoh said? You think he said yes, or you think he said no? He said no, because he was being mean and he wanted them to do all that hard work for free. And he said, no, I will not let your people go. And you know what God said? God said, no, Pharaoh, you will let my people go. And so he sent lots of sad things because Pharaoh didn't obey God. Do you obey God? Yeah? Why do you obey, Dove? Because why? What does God say?
I'm a good girl.
You're a good girl? What happens when you obey? What does God say? When you obey your parents and you obey him, what happens? What does he promise you?
Always go well with you.
And
Live a long life on the earth.
that's right. So when you obey your parents and you obey God, it will go well with you and you will live a long life on the earth. Pharaoh finally obeyed because something really crazy happened. Do you want to hear? Okay, so this is what happened. God said, if Pharaoh won't let my people go, I'm going to have to do something really big. Okay, so this is what he did. He said, all of my people, I want you to kill a lamb, and I want you to take the blood of the lamb and paint it outside your door. So on your front door, I want you to paint the blood of the lamb over it. That way, the angel that comes is going to know that this is a house of my people. And so this angel came and it did some really sad things to the people that were not obeying God. But guess what? All of God's people, they were safe in their houses, just like we're safe in our house right now. And the angel passed over. Do you think that's why it's called Passover? Probably, right? So the angel passed over all the houses of God's people because they obeyed God and they put the blood of the lamb outside their door. God rescued his people and they got to leave. They got to leave that dusty, mean place, and God rescued them and he brought them to an amazing land that was everything that they dreamed about. It was called the Promised Land. What would your promised land have, Dove? Exactly. It was a really special land that those people were so excited to go to. And God had prepared a special place for them, for his people. So basically once every year after that had happened, after God had rescued them and passed over their houses, he said, I want you to celebrate and have a feast every year on this day so that you can remember what I've done for you.
What does feast mean?
Oh, I'll tell you. So feast means a big celebration with lots of food. It was really fun. Would you like to have a big celebration with lots of food? A feast? Yeah, that would be fun, right? Okay, so the people would have a feast every year, and it was a big party, and it was called what?
Feast.
Passover.
Passover.
That's right.
Like at Ivy, eating the whole bag.
Okay, so now we're going to hear about what did Jesus do during Passover. It was Passover, the time when God's people remembered how God had rescued them from all that hard work in Egypt. And every year they killed a lamb and they ate it. And the lamb died instead of us, they would say. But this Passover, God was getting ready for an even greater rescue. He's going to rescue. Let's see what happens next. Jesus and his friends were eating the Passover feast together in an upstairs room. Jesus got up from the table and he grabbed a bowl and he wrapped a towel around his waist. Look at Jesus. And he started being the servant for his friends and washing their feet. One by one, Jesus washed everyone's feet. I am doing this because I love you, Jesus explained. Do this for each other. He told them to be each other's servants and to do it for each other.